Well, hello everyone. Good morning and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It is wonderful to be back with you. My name is Amy and I am looking forward to the show today. We're starting off here, the beautiful Namibia in Onguma in Etosha National Park with a humongous elephant that is enjoying some sun and a drink, I think, by the looks of things. And we had quite a lot of action yesterday, not here, but nearby at Safari Hook with a lioness that was hanging around. So who knows, maybe there are some more cats in store for us today. Now remember everyone that this is a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me. I would love to hear from you. You can let me know who you are, where you're watching from, what you're hoping to see today, anything in particular that you want to chat about. Feel free to send that through, and you can do so through our WhatsApp line. You can join the conversation on X using the hashtag WildEarth. You can also chat to us in the YouTube chat stream, otherwise you're using the WildEarth website or our app. Is a really big elephant. You can just see sort of the size of his body, the weight he's carrying there. And there comes an impala as well, just to say hello. I wonder if these two are having a bit of a chat. It does seem like the one on the left is a lot larger than the one on the right. Mercedes, hello. Yes, happy Thirsty Thursday. I do hope that means that the animals are thirsty as well and coming to the waterhole. It's going to be hopefully a fantastic show with lots to see, but also a chance to just relax, enjoy the sights and sounds. Let's see what this boy does. A lot of respect between Ellies as well, especially when one does know how much older and larger, more powerful, more strength another elephant has than it. Oh, there comes a one-horned impala. Probably could have lost that while fighting with another male. Most likely. Can see that blacksmith lapwing, the little birds on the ground there moving quickly out the way. Wow. Interesting how once that large bull decided it was time to move, immediately the smaller one is going to where he was. Shingai, welcome. It is great that you could join us for the beginning of the show. And Mr. Elemental, yes, lovely to have you. You're joining us from Western Australia. Great to have you on board. You say that it is a beautiful bay there. Well, we are also having a beautiful day here in the Lowveld. The sun is out. I think it's going to reach about 30 plus degrees today. A little bit of cooler weather coming in the next few days, actually. But for today, we still have the sunshine. And it's sort of this classic pre-summer weather where the clouds build for a little bit. We might have some rain and then it heats up for a short time, and it ebbs and flows like that constantly until the real heat waves come a little bit later on in the year, anytime probably I would say from late October, early November, building up for those first real rains that we wait for in anticipation. Oh, looks like this boy's having his splash bath time. So Khada, the recent fires in the park have been quite bad. I believe about 30% of the reserve was burnt, but they are almost fully contained. That was about 2 days ago that I read the latest update. And soldiers have been deployed from the army to help contain and manage the fire. So I do believe that is positive news. The areas that burnt have been burnt now, and it's just a matter of making sure that it doesn't endanger more animal life as well as human life through the park. So I will definitely keep updated with that as well. All right, while these elephants cool off here, let's head over to Kenya and see what's happening at Oldonyo. Well, from some elephants in Namibia to more elephants here in Kenya. But not only elephants, we also seem to have some zebra and giraffe that are wanting to maybe make their way to the waterhole as well. Elliot, you are 100% right. Generally speaking, when we think about elephants, we do think of herds or family groups, and those are made up of females and their offspring. Now, those offspring can be male or female, but it gets to a point, Elliot, where the males are no longer welcome in those family groups, and basically they get kicked out of the herd. They themselves also feel like they feel this way because the females start giving them a hard time, they start giving the females a hard time, they're a little bit boisterous and can endanger the little ones, and also they just feel like space is getting a little bit small for them, I would say. And so they move off and they hang out with other bulls who are in the same position, and that's why we get 1 or 2 elephants alone. Sometimes even here at Oldonyo we see 10 bull elephants together forming what we call a bachelor herd. So Bulls are more likely to be by themselves or in very small groups, maybe 1, 2, 3 of them, but they can also form actually quite large groups together that we see hanging out, whether it's here, even at Tembe as well. We often see quite a few bulls in the same area, and often that happens around a common resource like water. It's one of the most vital things for elephants for survival, and so with limited water around, especially in drier times of the year, they do congregate and form larger groups. But yes, you are correct to think that, hang on, why is there only 2 elephants here and not a whole herd? And that's because these are males that are no longer part of those family groups.
See you out on the safari.
It could be a very exciting morning.
Would you like to know the difference between a male and female wildebeest? You can ask me questions like this in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
And that's it for this morning's drive.
She's just got to impala, everybody.
And we're going to be heading out and seeing what animals we can find.
Out here, every wild moment counts, and as a wild earth explorer, you will not miss out. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7, and you can even rewind if you have missed out on something. Enjoy the behind-the-scenes video clips as well as fireside chat, or get the early offers on our travel experiences. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Using the nice cover for some shade. Bali, yes, it is true. So elephants have 2 mammary glands that sit for the females between the front legs, and that is where the young suckle from. So that is, we can't really see that on the elephants that we have here, but if we do have a herd pass through any one of the other locations, and we get a nice close-up, especially if she does have a current baby, it's very clear where those mammary glands are with the teats, where the babies suckle from. Well, let's head over to Northern KwaZulu-Natal and see what's happening at Tembe. Well, this is one of those spots I was speaking about where we often see lots of boys hanging out together because of the water here, and they love these mud wallows so much. They've recently filled up with recent rains. It's been completely dry for months now, and they just are so excited. I can see how happy they are with all the mud that's available to them here. There's also a woolly neck stork you can see there walking around in between. Gade, yes, this is in KwaZulu-Natal, right up in the north, and it's sort of the very northern tip, a little bit inland to the left, I think, if my memory serves me correct. I did look up on the map because I was also very interested, so it's quite high up there, and it's still within South Africa. Oh my word, look at this elephant on the left on its back. Back knees, my goodness me. I mean, whatever helps, whatever works. Clearly he's worked out that's the best way to get to the mud at the moment. So Khada, I think this is a private park, Tembe Elephant Park. I will confirm that for you. I don't remember it being listed as one of the sand parks that I'm aware of within South Africa. So I do think that it is a private location. It might be semi. It might be, there might be private stakeholders, but it still is combined with a national provincial park. So I will confirm that for you, Khada. So Elliot, when it comes to cohabitation between elephants and warthogs, I know there are some in the background that we're feeding away there, and they, in terms of cohabiting or coexisting with giraffes as they do with elephants, they live very peacefully, if that's what you're referring to. So there's not necessarily a direct relationship between the two of them, I would say, except that they do sometimes very much exist in the same areas. Warthogs, of course, being more focused on the ground, whereas elephants have a mixture, sometimes using more ground and digging in the winter time. Two boys having a bit of a scuffle there on the right. Always entertaining to watch. Typical behavior we see with young bulls, even older ones, but those can turn a little bit more serious.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh! Woo! This is action-packed. My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. I grew up mostly here in the Lowveld. I grew up here pretty much on the southern side of Kruger National Park, a place called Marlow Park, for most of my years. Something surprising about myself, I did play drums in a band for many years. Best sighting I presented, we found Palumba and the two cubs, and the cubs are just way big.
Every week, the wilderness delivers.
And that's why we're here.
Drama, chaos, crimes, humour. All moments you'll never forget. We've counted them down, argued about them, and finally picked the very best. From rare sightings to classic bush showdowns, this is nature's weekly highlight reel. Sharp facts, bad jokes, and the wildest top 5 you'll see this side of the savannah. It's not just a show, it's a wild bush week.
We are here with a male leopard.
This is always such a beautiful spot, and I love taking a moment to just listen. You can watch these zebras drinking, listen to their sounds. There's lots of oxpeckers around as well. You can see sitting on the one, at least on the left. And you can see how some are drinking, some are standing a bit back, and it's all about having some on the lookout so that they don't all drink at the exact same time, and that ensures alertness and protection from potential predation. Well, lovely to see the zebras here. We don't see them every day, so at least during the show, so it's nice to have had a moment to appreciate them. Let's head back over to Oldonyo. Well, it seems that the elephants have moved off and the giraffes came in very quickly to get back here for a drink. How beautiful is this scene, everyone? Wow. A stunning journey of giraffe. Zebras in the background, quite picture perfect if you ask me. Alright, let's head back over to Lentor. So just before we linked over to Oldonyo, I heard something barking here. Definitely seems to have spooked the zebra. So I just wanted us to take a moment to check. Maybe something's going to walk past. It sounded like maybe an impala that was alarm calling. Somewhere close by. I mean, we could hear it, so within the vicinity around this waterhole. So we're just going to take a minute, listen, see what the zebras do as well. It's difficult to say exactly. There could be a predator moving past that isn't necessarily on the hunt, so that's why there wasn't sort of a complete panic. But you can imagine something like a leopard walking past, white tail flicking in the air. I've often seen sometimes just one impala alarming for that. Does seem like the zebras are still there in the distance. We're going to keep checking here, everybody, but while we wait to see if anything pops out, let's send you back over to Oldonyo. It's so lovely to see these animals out here, fairly relaxed, enjoying some water. Comes a zebra to join the party. Now, giraffe actually wouldn't have too much of an issue with the zebras arriving there. I think it's more just a number thing. The zebras waiting. They're so it's a difficult thing to describe, but they get intimidated easily, these animals, I think, from observing them. So any animal that's sort of in number, a giraffe is huge as well. Sometimes we forget that just because we see elephants so much, and I mean they're massive. But in comparison to a zebra, a giraffe can be quite intimidating. But clearly there's been one brave soul, so the rest are now also feeling a little bit braver too. So Top G, when it comes to help between giraffes and zebra, I think much of the time other species love associating with giraffe because of how tall they are, and they have an incredible height advantage. That also means they can spot things that things like zebra, wildebeest, impala, and basically every other animal that is not as tall as them can't see. And so because of that, they are often seen, well, other animals are often seen hanging out with them. But for giraffe, because of their height advantage, there may be some things that are lower down to the ground that they can't see. And then at the end of the day, more eyes, the better. So with them not necessarily always being very large herd animals, in some areas more than others, and we know that zebras can also congregate in huge numbers in certain places in certain times of the year. But if we take the Lowveld, for example, in South Africa, often smaller groups hanging out here and there will associate with other prey species or plains game that can help them to be on the lookout for danger. So Taxi Lady, I hear you. We come to Oldonyo a lot because of the amount of animals and action that happens here. So we choose where we go during the show depending on what is where. So just like we linked away to other places, those other waterhole cameras that we have to choose from can be quite quiet, or there's nothing there to look at, and so we choose to go to places where there are a lot of animals or there's certain action happening. So that is why you see us coming here quite a lot. But another factor to consider is also the connections with the cameras. So because of the way everything is set up through Africam, and because of technology being what it is, sometimes some feeds are what we call unstable, and so it means that the picture is going to break up for you, or the sound is not going to be very good. And because of that, there's certain cameras that are more reliable than others, and that's also why we choose to go to them more.
This is an unbelievable afternoon.
At Wild Earth, we believe every story has the power to create change. That's why we've launched the Wild Earth Impact Foundation, a non-profit dedicated to conservation and social impact. By showcasing conservation stories, we can change lives, protect nature, and empower communities. We have partnered with Empowers Africa to accept tax-deductible donations from US donors. Your donation will help fund critical programs that support our mission. Join us and be part of the change.
My full name is Cedric Leslie Dold. The best driver at Wild Earth, it is me. I believe I'm the best driver. I think so, because Best part of my job, I say, is just to try and look out for these animals, track them down. I love tracking animals. I love looking for, fresh tracks, and if you can find them, it's just at the moment of accomplishment. If I wasn't a presenter for Wild Earth, I would be the drummer for AC/DC.
greatest wildlife spectacle on planet Earth. We'll see you there.
Out here, every moment counts. As a Wild Earth explorer, you won't miss a thing. Watch the Wild Earth channel ad-free 24/7 and rewind if you want to catch something again. Enjoy behind-the-scenes videos, fireside chats, and early access to travel offers. It's the best way to stay connected and be part of the Wild Earth family.
Nice to think of a lion completely on its own, but this boy looks like he's taking a snooze. I definitely think so. Resting, cooling off. He might have another splash here or there, but there's no rush really, I suppose, when you're an elephant. Hopefully we have a second boy on his way. Some springbokkies there on the left, also having a little drink. Elliot, so you want to know why we rarely see wild dogs. There's a few reasons, Elliot, but I think first and foremost, they are very rare and endangered animals, so there's not very many of them around, number one. That is why we don't see many of them throughout all our shows. Even if it's the prime time for them, which is really dusk and dawn, we don't see them very often at all. Second to them being very few in number relative to the areas that they live in, is because they cover such great distances. So they're only generally in an area for an extremely short time, and they're just on the move. It's their hunting strategy. It's how they do what they do. They are built for endurance, and so they can easily cover tens and tens of kilometers, up to 100 kilometers if they need to within days. So their whole territory is about 100 square kilometers that they sort of frequent. So they can move immensely quickly, and it's all about chasing down prey, and that can lead them all over the show. And so between those two reasons, it's why we don't see them very often. From these beautiful early bulls here in Safari Hook, let's head over to Madikwe and see what's happening at Tau. Wow, how beautiful is this, everyone? We've got some kudus and wildebeest, a young boy there on the right. You can see standing very proudly, I think, with his horns on their second curl. Generally, a full mature bull will have 4 curls in his horns. Very impressive. Joshua, when it comes to elephant bulls, both male and female can reach about the age of 60 to 70 years. Sometimes less than that, sometimes more than that, but we say on average it's around 60 years for the lifespan of an elephant. Can see an older kudu there walking, has got one full horn and one shorter one that also, like that impala we saw at the beginning of the show, also probably broken when competing with another male. Clement, there are definitely crocs here. We actually saw some yesterday that were lazing away in the water. There's a beautiful waterbuck bull there. You can clearly see the difference in its horns in comparison to the male kudus. And yeah, the crocs can be very well camouflaged sometimes, but we've had some amazing viewing of crocodiles mating recently. It is that time of year now when the females will go off and lay their eggs, and in a few months, around December, peak summer really, those eggs will hatch and we should be able to see lots of baby crocs around here too.
this unfolds in front of you.
What does it take to handle the wild? Balance. Determination. Focus.
Yaku!
And gear that can take a beating so you don't have to.
Rian, you say the best kind of roadblock? Absolutely. Look at this.
Hello, girls.
Maybe the zebra's been hired as a nanny. I'm not sure. They look so peaceful, don't they, drinking like that? The colours are stunning here as well at Safari Hook. We've got sort of this grey-blue water with the black and white of the zebra, brown soil, and the yellow in the background. Those were some European bee-eaters calling, everybody. Wow, that's special. They are back. I actually saw my very first one a week ago here in the Lowveld. I'd finished my live drives before I went on tracks and trails, and we were driving out of the reserve. I live right near the open gate of the Kruger, and a European bee-eater flew past us, and I said, oh my word, they're back. I haven't heard them calling yet. And now I've just heard some here at Safari Hook, so that's fantastic news. looks like a kudu that is drinking there as well. Clearly see the two young male kudus on the right, just starting their first curl of the horn there. Females just to the left. Oh, and a cory bustard in the background. That's very cool. One of the heaviest flying birds that we get. Huge bird. They have been hanging around here recently, so it's really nice to catch this one moving past again. Maybe it's going to come for a drink. Sometimes they actually sit down, bending half their leg, and then drink like that. We'll have to see what this one does. There we go. can definitely hear and see the ripples in the water. So definitely, there were elephants here earlier. I think he's having a bit of a splash now. Lola, they are very cool birds. Very, very cool birds indeed. Well, a real treat here at Safari Hook. We're going to head over to Elephant Pan. Or we are going to stay here. Sorry, everyone. We'll see if we can get there soon. But I think that there's an elephant that's having a great time here. So maybe we can have a look and see all the splashing, if it's having a pool party or what it's up to. Alright, let's head over to Lentor. Well, the rest of the troop is arriving here. I can see them coming for a drink, and this can be so much fun to see these baboons here. They can often provide a lot of entertainment. Top G, you were asking about the bustards that we're looking at and a little bit more info about their breeding habits. So Top G, we're actually coming into the peak breeding time for the Kori bustard, October, November, and but they can breed basically between July to April, so quite a very broad breeding spectrum, but the peak now in southern Africa at least is in October, November time. And basically what happens is that males will mate with multiple females. They'll also try and display and sort of fight it out between different males for areas, as well as to impress females. And they lay 1 to 2 eggs in a very simple scrape in the ground. So not much of a nest or anything like that is made. And then the incubation period is just over 3 weeks. So it says here 23 to 25 days. And only the female incubates the eggs for about 98% of the day. And yeah, they sit for anywhere from 4 minutes to 147 minutes at a time. So they can... they're very dedicated, the ones that are successful to their incubation. Let's head over to Rosie's. Well, it's nice to see that the hippo is here and now an elephant's coming to cool off. A lot of water here since the rains as well. It's definitely filled it up nicely. You can see that this boy's quite tall, very, very long legs, but he hasn't filled out just yet. So a youngster in that regard, maybe about 20 at the very most, I would say. Alright, let's head back up to Old Donyo. Well, here we have one of the fringe-eared oryx that has come to drink, while an elephant is here as well. You can see most of the giraffes are now in the shade of the tree on the right. Wow, what a shot. That would make for a very beautiful photograph. My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Pula pula maswi
bush, full of beauty, wonder, and absolute chaos. And now, all that madness has its own show. It's called a Wild Bush Week. The countdown of the most outrageous, heart-stopping, and sometimes downright ridiculous wildlife moments of the week. Lions throwing their weight around. Hyenas gate-crashing the buffet. Leopards doing, well, leopardy things. Each week, it's a fresh reel of safari gold. A mix of drama,
She's just got an impala, everybody.
danger, and a healthy dose of laughter. So, if you fancy a highlight show with bite, and I don't mean just the animals, tune in to a Wild Bush Week. You bring the tea, and we'll bring the tusks, tails, and teeth.
Well, while these boys enjoy the water here, let's head back over to Safari Hook. Oh wow, this is cool. Here we have an ostrich, from the heaviest flying bird to the biggest bird that we get in the world, being the ostrich. Wow, what a beauty. This is a male, and we know that because of the black feathers that it has. Looks like it's warm here too. You can see how it's opened its mouth a little bit. Often birds doing that, and many other animals, to pant and cool down. Also interesting to have this ostrich out here. I'm not sure what its plan is, if it's thinking of coming to the water, which would definitely be a possibility, whilst be around the water hole. But they also have to be cautious, checking all the time. Now, ostriches can really breed all year round, but there does tend to be a peak between, I suppose, around the summer times. Although I don't see any females present at the moment, it just looks like this boy is here on his own for now. And out of interest, they reach about 2 meters in height, and they weigh between 60 to 80 kgs. That's pretty impressive for a bird. Yeah, wildlife lady, I definitely think that it is quite warm, if not very, very hot here today. Well, while this ostrich hangs out here at Safari Hook, we'll see what it gets up to. Let's head over to Old Donya. Well, it looks like Elephant has a few more friends that have joined it, surprise, surprise. And you can see them cooling off here as well. My name is Amy, and today we're going to be doing things a little bit differently.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
There's some ellies that we're approaching now.
The light on her as well is absolutely gorgeous.
So we are going to enjoy the rest of this sunset.
Wow, this is absolutely crazy.
And thank you for joining us. For myself and Cam, we will see you next time.
Safari, wine, and waterfalls. The ultimate African adventure. Sip South Africa's finest wines. Experience a world-class safari among Africa's iconic wildlife. And stand in front of Victoria Falls, one of the natural wonders of the world. All this can be yours with Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
Now these are the kind of bulls, maybe one of them will get a bee in its bonnet and actually chase out the hippo. We've seen it happen multiple times. But with this pan having filled up so much, it does mean that there's a lot more water to go around as well. I can definitely see that hippo moving around there. It's actually quite close to that elephant in the middle. Wildlife Lady, they are such majestic elephants, both here and in Oldonyo, and it's wonderful to see them. And we just love elephants, don't we? Spas, so I know it's a little bit tricky to see the hippo, but it is there, almost directly in front of the elephant that is deepest in the water, and we might even see it chase it out. It's keeping a very low profile. I saw it just now. It's doing very well to conceal itself, but every now and again it does have to stick up its nose for some air. There comes up the nose. You can see it now. They just left a space, and down it goes very quickly. Well, let's head over to Wange Safari Lodge and see what's happening in Zimbabwe. Yeah, we have some more baboons, different species actually to the ones that we had at Lentor. Those were olive baboons. These will be chakma in southern Africa. But isn't it so much fun to watch a troop like this out in the open, especially lots of little ones? They like to get up to a little bit of mischief every now and again. Seems like this is also their chosen area to have a bit of a drink. You can see the pan just to the right, a little bit of an overflow as well that's flowing out where some of these baboons are drinking. Okay, well, speaking of Lentor, let's head over there now. Oh, wow. Gone in a puff of smoke. Okay, well, they are coming back, I think. Let's just give it a second. We might have some more that pop out. The whole troop's there moving just on the left. Okay, it looks like they are heading off. let's head over to Tembe. We have more of these boys hanging out here. They've moved off, it seems, these ones from their mud baths, and some of them having a bit of a drink now. This one closest to us seems to just be resting a little bit. Now these boys can move quite a lot, I think, although they do tend to choose to stay in the area. It also seems to have gotten quite overcast here. I'm not sure if more rain is actually predicted. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case though. And what a beautiful tree that is. I was speaking about it, it was yesterday or the day before, but the weeping boerbeens are flowering now, spring, summertime. Also one of the first to get their leaves for summer, so luminescent green. And those flowers are just stunning red color, and also where it gets its name from, they actually drip out as kind of liquid, and that is where it gets its name from, the weeping boerbeen. And because of all that nectar that it's weeping out, it attracts so many insects and birds, and it really is a true sign of summer beginning and so much life that it brings with it. Yeah, George, exactly. It is looking so nice and green, and I think very, very soon we're going to see the grass. It's already starting to change. You can see little green pockets around, but it's going to completely transform, and with no brown whatsoever fairly soon, I think.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she's gonna catch it.
Come on, Tommy. Watch this, we're about to see a kill.
You can see how close he is from where I am. If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every Safari Live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Got something there, not too big, but something. Often they'll put out their wing like that to form the shadow exactly like what it did there. You can imagine that there's a glare on top of the water, and so what happens is that the bird uses its shadow, much like what we just saw there, to actually get a clear view through the water because it blocks the glare from the top. So very clever tactics here. I mean, we are getting a full lesson on tactical hunting strategies of the yellow-billed stork. Yeah, exactly, Deb. That's exactly what he's doing. And we actually see hummerkorps do it as well. Many of the wading birds will try and flush something out by disturbing the soil with its foot. And because of its size, it's really useful because it's so big that it can disturb one area and hope it swims directly towards its beak. Do you see how it's holding it open like that? And so it's quite sneaky in that way. There is hammerkop, like I was saying, a little bit smaller, but you can see how it uses the same tactic with its foot there. So Lady M, when it comes to polarized vision, not only birds that hunt in water, but many birds actually have polarized eyesight and able to polarize the light waves, and it helps them with being able to detect prey, but also for those that migrate. I believe it's a very useful tool for them. What magnificent views are we getting of these birds here? My goodness, just incredible. You can see that hammerkop doing its the hammerkop shuffle, I like to call it. We have an egret as well that's joined the party. We are going to head over to Lentor. Oh wow, what a beautiful sighting this is of a lilac-breasted roller here. My goodness me. Always a bird that's worth taking a good long look at and admiring. And you can see that it's focusing, it's looking. Also wanting to see if it can find maybe something to fly down and catch. They'll be hunting really all sorts of things, from small rodents and reptiles to insects.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word. She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. Woo. This is action-packed.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Wildlife Lady, it's such a pleasure. I'm so glad that you enjoyed today's waterhole show. And yeah, it's been wonderful. Lots of elephants around as expected, but also seeing that Cory busted and that lilac breasted roller that's just flown away. Was expected though, I must say. I was wondering when it was going to head off. I'm not surprised that it oh, there we go, maybe it caught something. Sometimes they do return to the same perch. Definitely did go and land back in that same spot. Looks like there's also some other little birds that have come down. We've seen quite a lot of canaries and waxbills that come down to drink as well. Firefinches. Well, we've come over to Tembo for the last little bit of the show today, and you can see that these two have come to their favorite wallows, and oh my goodness, look at that one. That's so great. It's always wonderful to have a smile on your face when you're watching elephants. Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining me here today. Thank you for all of your comments and questions as well. We really appreciate it. I'll be back with you all for another show tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. And keep well, everyone. We'll see you then. Goodbye for now.